Stop being yourself. I know that sounds wrong, almost offensive, because your whole life you've been told the opposite. Just be yourself. Just be authentic. Just be you and everything will fall into place. Your friends say it when you're doubting yourself. Your family says it when you're nervous. Social media repeats it like it's some universal truth that applies to every situation. And I get it. It sounds comforting. It sounds empowering. It sounds like freedom. But what if that advice, as good as it sounds, is actually incomplete? What if the reason you're not where you want to be isn't because you're unlucky or because the world is against you, but because you keep insisting on staying the same person? Think about your life right now. Seriously, take a second and look at it without emotion. Your income, your health, your confidence level, your discipline, your habits, your daily routine, the way you react to pressure, the way you handle rejection, all of that is not random. It didn't just happen. It is the result of thousands of decisions you made over the past few years. The small ones you thought didn't matter, the big ones you were afraid to take, the risks you avoided, the comfort you chose. In other words, who you are today has created exactly where you are today. And that's not meant to insult you. It's meant to wake you up. Because if the current version of you built your current reality, then how can the same unchanged version of you build a completely different future? It doesn't make sense. If you want more money, better health, stronger relationships, more confidence, a bigger business, a sharper mind, you cannot continue operating with the same mindset, the same standards, the same emotional patterns that got you here. Let's make it simple. Imagine you're making $100 a day. You've been at that level for a while. You try small things here and there. Maybe you watch a few motivational videos. Maybe you start something and quit. Maybe you get excited for a week and then go back to normal. And you keep telling yourself, I'm being myself. I'm staying authentic. But nothing changes. And the truth is not that you're incapable. The truth is that you're operating as the identity of a person who makes $100 a day. Your thinking is shaped around that level. Your risk tolerance is shaped around that level. Your work ethic, your focus, your network, your standards, they're all aligned with that identity. You cannot expect $200 days while thinking like a $100 person. That jump requires an internal shift before it shows up externally. Growth is not a strategy problem most of the time. It's an identity problem. People obsess over tactics, over hacks, over a secret formulas, but they ignore the deeper question. Who do I need to become for this result to be normal for me? Because once something becomes normal for you, it stops feeling impossible. And this is where most people misunderstand the phrase, be yourself. They interpret it as stay the same, keep your habits, keep your comfort zone, keep your familiar routines, and hope that somehow, magically, your life upgrades without you upgrading. That's not how it works. You don't get a new life by protecting the old version of you. You get a new life by replacing parts of yourself that are no longer serving you. I'll be honest with you. There was a time when I played everything safe. I avoided big risks. I avoided uncomfortable conversations. I avoided putting myself out there in a real way because I didn't want to look stupid or fail publicly. I told myself I was just being myself, that I wasn't the type of person who takes massive risks. And for a while that sounded reasonable, but the result of that mindset was simple: no real growth. My business plateaued, my confidence plateaued, my income plateaued. Nothing dramatically bad happened, but nothing dramatically good happened either. And that's the dangerous zone, when things are just comfortable enough to keep you stuck. Then something shifted. I started exposing myself to bigger thinkers, people operating at levels that honestly intimidated me. I read books that challenged my excuses. I questioned my default reactions. Instead of asking, can I do this? I started asking, what would the higher version of me do in this situation? And at first it felt fake. It felt uncomfortable. It felt like I was pretending. But that uncomfort was exactly the signal that growth was happening. Within a year, my mindset changed so much that if you compared me to my previous self, it would feel like a complete 180. And the external results followed the internal shift. That's the part nobody emphasizes enough. You don't wait for your results to change before you change. You change first, and then the results catch up. When you decide to work out a little more than you normally would, when you decide to read instead of scroll, when you decide to take the risk instead of playing it safe, when you decide to surround yourself with people who think bigger than you, you are not just doing different actions, you are rehearsing a new identity. And identity is powerful because once you see yourself differently, your behavior adjusts automatically. If you see yourself as someone disciplined, you act disciplined. If you see yourself as someone capable of building wealth, you start making decisions aligned with that belief. But if you cling to the old story of who you are, I'm not a risk taker, I'm not good with money, I'm not confident, I'm not the type of person who does that, then you will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity that requires you to step outside that narrative. So when I say stop being yourself, I don't mean abandon your values. I don't mean become someone fake or unethical. I mean stop using your current identity as an excuse to stay comfortable. Stop romanticizing the version of you that hasn't produced the life you want. If your current habits have led to your current results, then logically, different results require different habits. Different habits require different standards, and different standards require a different self-image. Most people are waiting for motivation to change them, but motivation is temporary. Identity is permanent until you consciously rewrite it. The real power move is to decide who you want to be 5 years from now and start practicing that version today, even before you feel ready. Speak like that person, think like that person, make decisions like that person. It will feel unnatural at first, but that's because you're stretching beyond your current limits. Comfort is familiar, not necessarily good. Growth is unfamiliar, not necessarily dangerous. And if you truly want to improve your life, whether that means earning more, becoming healthier, building something meaningful, or simply gaining more control over your time, you cannot keep negotiating with the version of you that prefers safety over expansion. The truth is simple, but uncomfortable. The version of you that created this life is not automatically qualified to create the next level of it. That requires evolution. That requires intentional discomfort. That requires humility to admit that what you know right now might not be enough to get you where you want to go. And that's not weakness. That's awareness. So the next time someone tells you just be yourself, don't interpret it as stay the same. Interpret it as be the kind of person who is committed to growth, who is willing to change, who is willing to outgrow old patterns. Because staying the same is easy. Evolving is hard. But staying the same guarantees predictable results. Evolving creates the possibility of extraordinary ones. If you don't like where you are, don't attack the world. Upgrade the person navigating it. Stop protecting your old identity. Start building the new one. And understand this clearly. Your future is not waiting for you to be more comfortable. It's waiting for you to become more capable.